Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Today we're talking about a Eufaula resort in the trees, and a little bit later on, guess what's back? The State Fair is back! And we've got the concert lineup. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So, Harley, you had a delayed adventure.
A delayed adventure. Yes, I did. It was delayed because
It was delayed.
I was supposed to do this trip for my birthday.
And
the unseasonably cold front ended my birthday adventure and postponed it.
Well, I thought it was the unseasonable super flu that we had that came through that kept you from doing it. But anyway, you got to catch up on catching up. How was that? Catching up on catching. Sorry. So you got your treehouse mulligan.
I did. And we had a lot of fun. Had a great weekend with the family. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, if you are looking for a unique adventure for the family, I'm going to say you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time topping the Eufaula Treehouse Tree-sort in Eufaula.
I don't think you can spell unique without spelling Eufaula. I mean, you just, honestly, have you heard of anything like this before?
There are a few unique places to stay in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, quite a few unique places to stay in the state, but this is definitely up on the list and up in the trees.
Yeah.
It's a great place to kind of clear your thoughts, relax, unwind if you're going by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
With the kids, it's a little different game altogether.
Okay.
But just to kind of touch base on how this whole thing started.
Right.
The owners, Richard and Becky, they've lived in the Eufaula area forever.
Right.
Richard used to own and operate a grocery store in Chakotah, and Becky has been a fourth grade teacher for quite a while. They bought the Treehouse Resort.
You're gonna say Treesort is what you wanted to say. I felt it. I'm gonna
have to stop saying Treesort because it's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
So I'm just gonna say Treehouse Resort.
Right.
They bought it in 2019. They've been working hard, doing lots of improvements.
Mm-hmm.
And they have plans to extend it, but currently they have two tree houses on the property, a smaller one called the Hummingbird, and then the big one called the Bigfoot Cabin.
So with only having two tree houses having a unique situation, I would venture to guess, and this is something we can probably talk about a little bit later, but it's probably hard to get into.
So I'm going to say...
Not literally, but figuratively speaking. I would be hard for me to get into a treehouse, but I mean, with only having two, I'm sure the reservations are pretty. You got to.
Yeah, they were far out, and we did. Yeah. My birthday is off season for everything, so it's normally a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get good rates. I don't have a lot of competition for scheduling. I don't have to put up with a lot of people that I don't know.
Yeah, there's still frost on the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in the middle of June, that's not the case. So it was great that we were able to get in. But as far as getting into the tree houses, they're standard steps.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to have to say right off the bat, these things are 20 feet up in the air.
Oof.
So if heights isn't one of your things, this may be something to avoid because you are up in the air.
Yeah.
And as far as these tree houses go, they're built and completely supported by the trees. And as far as the construction of tree houses goes, I don't know the technical explanation for it, but they're supported with like chains and that sort of thing, so you feel movement.
Right. Tree, I mean, there's no real way to keep, if you're in a tree, it may not look like it's moving from the ground, but when you're in the tree, when it moves, you move. Like there's just I don't think there'd be any getting away from that.
Don't get me wrong, the engineering on the tree houses is great, but they are allowed to float, air quotes. So you're going to have limited movement in the overall tree house. So if you have like seasickness or you don't like heights,
not for you.
It's probably not going to be your cup of tea. But again, I think people are lined up to stay at the place. So, if you're one of those people, then, find something on the ground, I would say.
Right.
But as far as the treehouse construction goes, they've got giant bolts that are engineered to support like 50,000 pounds each, and there's 4 of them for each treehouse. And the treehouses are like 10,000 pounds. So you're talking 200,000 pounds of support to hold 10,000 pounds. So I'm going to say, as far as the engineering goes, you don't have to worry about it.
It's probably better than most tree houses we built or dreamt of. It's probably, I envision like if the Smith family Robinson were engineers, this is probably what this looks like.
They're intense.
Yeah.
Not intense, but intense.
Right, yeah.
So the smaller of the tree houses is the one we stayed in. The Hummingbird Treehouse is a real tree house. It's completely supported by the trees. As far as amenities goes, it's got a microwave, a coffee pot, it's got a little refrigerator, the hotel quality sheets and pillows cleaned and all that sort of stuff. Coffee makers with coffee. They basically just have everything except the creamer.
Right.
They supply you with all that sort of equipment. It's got a fire pit, a charcoal grill with the charcoal lighter fluid, everything. Like, if you're thinking, I'm going to forget something, chances are it's there.
So we've stayed in cabins together, separately. It kind of sounds like, yes, it's a tree house, it almost, anytime you go to like to the Broken Bow cabins or anything, everything's already, it kind of feels like a cabin in the sky, more so than just a standard. It's a tree house by design and aesthetically, but yeah, it's a lot fancier than I thought it would be.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of the modern amenities. So it's got AC, heat. It's got a fully modern bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, I expected to get into the shower and have a trickle of water and have to spend an hour and a half trying to get the soap off of me. But, dude, full-blown shower.
Nice.
No issues at all. I had a great time as far as the amenities go. Now, I will say, the smaller Hummingbird cabin sleeps up to 4, but if you're going to have 4 people in there, it's a little cramped.
Is it? Okay.
I'm going to say, my personal opinion, if you're going to stay in the Hummingbird, then that's probably going to want to be a couple and maybe some smaller kids
or a chihuahua
or a couple and just a romantic getaway kind of thing.
Yeah, I honestly, I know you've got a whole brood, and I've been growing a brood for the last year and a half. This definitely, for me, if I was going to do a maiden voyage, it would definitely be a +1 on this one.
Right. Now, the other treehouse, this is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more spread out.
Right.
So on the smaller treehouse, the Hummingbird Treehouse, you have a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
And it's pretty steep stairway. Mm-hmm. On the Bigfoot Treehouse, you've got like a big suspended walkway. So you have like this more comfortable transition from the ground. But at the end of it, you're still 20 feet up and it's still attached to trees. They're still swaying. So again, if heights is not your thing, then even the bigger one, even though it looks bigger, it looks like it might move less, you're still way up in the air.
When I was a kid, I remember thinking I would love to have a treehouse like on indoor. When you were describing like the bridge, to me, I just immediately, I could think of an Ewok village.
It kind of looks like that. It really does.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest, the trees and stuff around the place kind of give a very similar vibe. It's very closed in as far as you don't see beyond the trees. They have a little clearing kind of cleared out in the middle where there's a big kind of communal area. Now, each treehouse does have its separate outdoor amenities, and we'll kind of touch base on those. But I think if you were going to do a big family outing where you had 6 or 8 people, renting both of them would be a real viable option, and you wouldn't feel like you were in 2 different places.
Absolutely. Especially if, let's say you put the kids in one of them.
Right.
You had a little bit of a break in the action. Kids go over here. Yeah, I think that's a perfect setup for something like that. So as far as things to do while you're there, you kind of think of it's your run-of-the-mill camping experience with a twist.
It's an elevated camping experience.
Right. So
unintended.
What are the things are there to do there besides build a fire?
Fire's definitely going to be on the list. One of the things that I thought was a really good touch.
Yeah.
They have all of the fixings for s'mores.
Really? They supply that? Oh, that's cool.
So, and they've got the fire pits with the seating all around it. So the porches on the tree houses have plenty of seating, outdoor seating.
Yeah.
as well as indoor seating, but you can sit out and relax outside of the treehouse without coming all the way to the ground floor. If you come all the way to the forest floor, you have all of the seating out there on the ground as well, so it's kind of duplicated. Yeah. They've got hammocks, they've got swings, they've got horseshoes.
Cool.
Cornhole, Jenga. They've got a little nature trail. Mm-hmm. All of the wood. If you burned a fire nonstop in the fire pit the whole time you were there, just a raging fire, I'm pretty sure you would run out of wood.
Really?
In about a year.
Wow.
This is the biggest wood pile I've ever seen.
Seriously.
Piled up for you to use in the fire pit.
Well, it sounds like a pretty cool situation, but again, with only having 2 of them. The good news is, though, I mean, I was kind of doing a little bit of research. So there's not like a cutoff date where, well, they're closed from this month to this month. And so what are their, how open is it?
It's open year round, weather permitting. Now, a little bit of a downside, I would say, is this is in a very steep area. Like there's a lot of steep hills and valleys and all that sort of stuff in the area. So you have to drive quite a bit off of the main road. I'd say it's probably 2, maybe 3 miles of road once you get off of the highway. And there's a lot of really steep grades up and down. So my personal opinion, in a winter storm or a rainstorm, I wouldn't want to be driving on that road unless I had a 4-wheel drive.
Absolutely.
So that would be one of the downfalls. But literally, it's so far off the beaten path that the first time you go there, they meet you and lead you to the.
Oh, really?
Lead you to the cabins. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're out there in the middle of Sticksville, USA.
It's very remote, and it's like I said before, it's a really great way to get away from it.
That to me sounds like the perfect situation. Because you told me before the show it's like a 4-mile trek up the gravel road.
Mm-hmm.
Get me as far away from civilization. I just need it once or twice a year to just be in the middle of nowhere. I don't like s'mores, but I'll adapt. I'll find a way to adapt.
So 100%, if you're wanting to get off the grid for a little bit, I can't make a recommendation beyond the Eufaula Treehouse Treesort. The best way to make reservations, check out their website. It's EufaulaTreesort.com.
Awesome.
It's got their phone number there, and you can book it. You can book it through Airbnb. But on that point, before we jump ahead to the next segment of the show, I was reading somewhere that when you do online booking for hotels and that sort of stuff, it seems like the online entity takes a insane amount of that online booking.
Really?
It's my understanding that can cost as much as 30% of the hotel stay.
Jeez.
Just goes to Travelocity or whatever website you're using.
God, I'd just rather call them and say, here's my credit card.
My personal opinion, I think if you're wanting to stay at one of these small places, something along Route 66 or a tree house in the, in
the boonies,
a tree house in Eufaula, then I would say reach out to them directly.
Absolutely.
If we can keep a little bit more money in their pocket or here locally, it only helps us.
Yeah, 30%. Golly, that is woof. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
To a place that I wouldn't say they're not relatively well known, but for being a kind of a mom and pop shop.
Yeah, 30% is huge.
That's huge. And I know some places think that the only way they can go is through the third-party entities and things like that. But, man, somebody's making a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah, and I promise you, if it's a small independent property and you call them directly, they're super pumped to hear from you.
Well, definitely. If you've never been to Eufaula, you might have driven through there. I'm telling you, it's one of the most unique places in Oklahoma, and we've got tons of material on the way about Eufaula. Lots of shows to come. But coming up next, we've got the triumphant return. The return, and maybe the king lives as well. It's a state fair coming up next. So every time I turn around, I'm finding I'm getting more money. Found out I'm getting another chunk of money soon. Don't know when. Then we're getting a little bit of money. Uncle Joe is sending us our trust fund payments starting in July. I don't know what Where does what am I going to do with this money? What am I supposed to do with it? Am I going to pay it? Am I going to pay for this later?
You're definitely going to end up paying for this later.
Where does the money come from?
I agree with you 100%. Right now, you have weird money coming at you from every angle.
Well, right, it's like I had a dead aunt. I got a dead aunt and an uncle sending me money, and it just sounds like we're beating a dead horse. A lot of miscellaneous money's coming.
There have been a lot of miscellaneous checks throughout the last couple of years. I definitely think if you're concerned about the tax consequences of getting money now versus getting money at the end of the year, that type of thing, I definitely think that you should reach out to our friends over at Holiday Tax Group.
Absolutely. You know, they're family owned and operated. They've been around for over a decade. What I think is the coolest thing about it is if you're a teacher or military personnel, 20% off.
But more importantly, whether you're a teacher or military personnel, whether you're getting 20% off or whether you're having to pay, the regular plebe prices,
right? Working
with the group at Holiday Tax Group is going to make you money. This is something that will make you money one way or the other. They're either going to save you money or they're going to find money for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth every penny.
Oh, absolutely. It's not like one of the things I fear the most is talking to people about money and going to the dentist. But I know I'm not getting any new teeth, but I am getting some new money. So I definitely need to talk to somebody about my money.
Well, if you want a free consultation, give them a call, 405-730-3100.
Or you can find them on the web at holidaytaxgroup.com. That's holiday with 2 L's. You know what? There's two jingles that always stick.
The Great State Fair of
Oklahoma and the B.C. Clark theme.
I think I might have confused those in my head just now.
Well, yes. But we ain't sang a tune about the state fair in over a year.
Yeah. Did we have a virtual state fair last year?
I'm surprised we didn't. But, you did see, and you still kind of, they still do it. They'll do pop-up shops where you can go buy fair food at OSU, OKC, or different places. They'll have the cinnamon roll truck set up to where you can go and at least get the flavors of the fair. But it's not the same.
It doesn't smell.
It doesn't
smell right.
It doesn't look the same. The people at the food trucks aren't as trashy. It's just not the same. But the fair is back.
Yes, September 16th through the 26th.
But I just want to pump the brakes on it real quick.
Okay.
Is this a mandala effect? Am I making this up? Did the fair used to last a month?
I feel like it did, but you could be right. It could be us just misremembering.
Yeah.
But I felt like the state fair used to be a month.
And it seemed like it was in October. It was kind of chilly in the air. The freak show was freakier. Back when they had the come see Timmy and see what the dangers of drugs can do. For like $1, you could come see a guy named Timmy sitting in a chair behind a glass thing. See what the drugs have riddled his body. I never did that one. But they did have you hear people joke about the 7-foot-tall man eating chicken?
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing. They had the freak show. You could walk through. Bobo the Clown would insult you. And you go, high and dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not bagging on the fair. I do miss the old fair, though. But I'm glad the new fair is back.
100%. So we have the concert lineup.
Yes.
And I feel like this is some information that people might want to know ahead of time.
Absolutely. Free concerts. Who are we to say no to free music? I mean, I would take a free Indian taco. But I would definitely say yes to some free music.
So starting at the top of the list, we have the Oak Ridge Boys.
Yes, we do.
Dude, they've got Grammys and CMAs and ACM awards coming out the wazoo.
I think they've been together for,
112
years.
I think that's right.
Well, and another a 90s country juggernaut, Sawyer Brown. They've charted over 50 times. They've had, I don't know how many #1 hits. Even you that hasn't listened to country most of your adult life, I promise you have stumbled across a Sawyer Brown song.
It's a distinct possibility, but there is a band that's going to be at the state fair that I am familiar with.
Yeah.
The hardest working band in rock and roll.
Hell yes.
Jackal.
Yes, Jackal. Uncle John, a.k.a. my dad, was a huge Jackal fan. He loved the song. It was I don't remember the name of the song, but I think it was a Chainsaw song. But I'm sure you remember it. It had the chainsaw there. Wow, 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 wow. And I want to baby. He loved it. He played the hell out of the cassette tape. I still have the cassette tape. That's going to be a fun show. They are a party hardy band from the South.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of Journey,
yeah,
there's a group called Resurrection. They're a Journey tribute band that's going to be playing. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know anybody that can listen to a Journey song without joining in.
Right. There's something about, there are very few bands that come on the radio that if you're in a group of people, if one person's prompted to sing, everybody does. Don't stop believing.
Right. And as far as I'm concerned,
yeah,
those are the songs that make the best road trip songs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you're making a list of what's the playlist? Journey is on there multiple times.
For sure.
I mean, minimum you put the greatest hits on, and then after that's done, you I don't know what you do. You try to, I don't know what the next best one is. The Eagles, but yeah, it's definitely on the road trip playlist. Now, if you're into Christian music, there's a band called We the Kingdom. They're fairly well known. They've been nominated for a Grammy, at least a Grammy.
They've had a couple of back-to-back #1 hits as well.
Well, that's true. Yeah. And then I'm not sure. There's a couple of these I'm not sure of, like Gary Lewis and the Playboys. They're going to be there. Here's the thing: free music, okay? Concerts again, getting out in public.
Well, as far as that goes, there is an event that is in the concert lineup.
It's intentional.
The Elvis Extravaganza.
Yes.
Dude, are you pumped? I know you're pumped.
I am so pumped.
You're literally wearing a shirt that says TCB on it right now. So, yeah, this is all Elvis Presley impersonators. It looks like a lot of fun. You're killing me with that, Smalls.
I'm sorry. This is what I'm here for, brother. That's the one. If I could do one thing this year, I've been to Graceland. I got the T-shirt, man. Yes. Just let it finish.
You're killing
Ride it out, man. Ride it out.
You were a dork.
Had to do it.
So also on the list, you've got Jameson Rogers. He's an iHeart Music Awards Best New Country Artist nominee. A little bit of a throwback. You got Genuine.
Yeah.
Dude, don't laugh at Genuine. He is one of the top selling R&B artists in history, bro.
I don't know how many awkward lap dances I've given to his Ride the Pony. I don't even know the name of the song. I just know the dance moves, dude. You know what I mean? I don't even know the name of this. Sometimes the music just moves you. I forget what the names of the songs are.
And if you are a little bit of an old school glam band rocker, you've got Skid Row's going to be there. Dude, it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a blast.
I'm glad that we kicked the doors wide open on travel and tourism in the state of Oklahoma. And
Aren't we back? Are we back yet?
I'm back.
I'm back. We're back.
And we're taking care of business.
We are TCB, man. Taking care of business is our only mode of operation.
Right. So, but we need you to TCB.
Yes, you have to TCB.
We need you to go and share the show with all the people that need to know.
That's right, baby. You gotta get there and tell them about the OnlyinOKShow, baby. These brothers right here, they're the king of the podcast, baby. They know everything there is to know about Oklahoma. I'm telling you.
Well, this has been the OnlyinOKShow. I'm Harley.
And I'm not Elvis Presley. I am Brett.
And we're out of here.
Peace. Formatted for my pleasure. For my pleasure. Formatted for my pleasure. Yeah, it's formatted for my pleasure. It's formatted for my pleasure. Formatted for my pleasure. It's formatted for my pleasure. Yes, my babies. Yes, control. Hey, we're going to enlarge you. Hey, honey, how did you make it the letters blow up? Yeah. Honey? Honey, is the printer on? Those are things that you yell. That's things that dads yell. P. 505. I smell the urine of a middle-aged man. Bing, bing, wee pancakes. It's good for you, buddy. It's good for you, buddy. That's right. It's so delicious. I want to test your audio knowledge, but I can't do it unless you have your headphones on. Feel it. So I'm gonna
vibration.
I guess it's beatbox. Not really beatbox, but I want you to tell me what this is from. Ready? Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
The thing.
Yes, sir. The only bass line I know would wake me from I'd be like, who's watching this without me?
What lines?
Okay.
Jeez, you're loud.
You had some time to think about it. Or maybe you didn't.
Chip, chop, chip, dude.
It's
8:30.
Dude, shut up.
Your kid's going to start screaming.
No, he's not. He goes to bed at like 10 now. Anyway, he'll be fine for a little bit. Best Batman. Here's the criteria.
Christian Bale.
Good choice. Everybody says Keaton.
Keaton was lame.
I'm not saying he was terrible, but when I think of
Keaton was lame.
personifies the character Bruce Wayne and Batman. You've got to look at him. You can't look at him from, well, his Bruce Wayne did it. It's the total package. Who's number 2? For me, you're going to get mad at this one. I think Ben Affleck. Why?
The dude that does the
voice?
Batman Beyond.
Okay.
Is the next in the list.
Yeah.
Followed by Adam West.
But what about Adam West?
He was OG.
Yeah. I think he gets in there. He's in the top. I'm not going to say it because you always say top this and Mount Rushmore. But we could do a Rushmore of Batmans. Who goes there?
You can't. There's only 6 of them.
You have to choose, though.
You just eliminated 2.
But okay. But how many presidents have we had? We could easily go back and go scratch him and put...
You tell me a president...
Kennedy.
No.
You don't think Kennedy deserves to?
No.
Okay, so I think any president... After the media.
Kennedy was a cult of personality figure. He was not a great president.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, you ask the...
Catholics. The Catholics love Kennedy.
Yes.
Boston loved Kennedy. Ireland loved Kennedy.
But if you ask them what he did, they'll go, he got that one time when he was in a car, and his head got splattered all over the...
Does he not get credit for...
Getting assassinated?
By the end of this decade, our mission is to put a man on the moon. It
was a great speech, but as far as policy and accomplishing things, I'm not feeling it. Okay. Sorry.
So back to the Batman thing. I know that they had very few choices to choose from when they carved Mount Rushmore. I get it.
It's not that they had few choices.
What I'm saying is,
they were people who turned the course of American history.
Hell, you could put Henry Ford on there,
but he wasn't a president.
I'm not saying I know, but it talks
yes, you could have.
If you had a movers and shakers, Mount Rushmore, Ford's up there,
Rockefeller,
Graham Bell. By the way, did you see where Michael Myers is either starring in or producing a show on Netflix about, you guessed it, the Pentaveret.
That's cool.
I saw some comments like, they said, I can't remember what they said. There was a bunch of quotes from So I Married an Axe Murderer. I was like, it's finally come full circle. Now we hear the truth about the Pentaveret. Anyway, Batman's
at a secret location known as the Meadows.
The Meadows.
Heed, punts, no.
I want to hear more about the Grove, the Bohemian Grove. I want to know more about that.
You can go hang out with Alex Jones.
Now, let's talk about Bohemian Grove.
3, 2, Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Somebody said the other night that I should get on the PA and do, there is no loading in the white zone. The white zone is for...
No, there's no parking.
There's no parking in the white zone.
The white zone is for loading and unloading only.
Oh, really, Tom? Tell me how you really feel. You wanted me to get an abortion. No, I just felt that was the logical thing to do. God. There are certain health benefits to birth control. Golly, man. All right. Welcome to the show. Today we're talking about...
3, 2, 1. God damn it.
Really?
Let's go, dude. Come on.
Your phone, man.
Your phone, man.
Your phone, man. Your phone's far out, man. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're talking about the Eufaula Resort in the trees, and later...
No, that's lame.
You're fucking lame, man.
Come on.
Right. Ready? Talking about a Eufaula Resort in the trees. You follow me? Just kidding. Not going to do that.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're talking about a Eufaula Resort in the trees. And guess what's back? It's the State Fair! And we got the concert lineup coming up. I'm Brett.
No, that was lame.
That was energetic. What?
It was disjointed.
Okay, fine. Ready?
Welcome to the
Okay, do it. You do it.
Dude, you don't want me to do it. I'll do it.
Dude.
Episode 114 of the show's
Really?
intro sucks.
Always go back to 114, man. We have 1,000 episodes. Yeah, but 114 really sticks with me, dude.
Remember that time we did the show on the Treesort? Stupid intro. Can you quit moving shit? You need what?
I need one of those, not a fidget spinner, but they have these things that have all these little fidget things that you can do on it.
Yeah, that's what we need. Pop, pop, click, click, pop, pop, click, 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 click. What is that noise? I don't know, but I'm having a seizure over here.
Sounds like the cast of The Gods Must Be Crazy back there. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Today we're talking about a Eufaula. Okay, 3, 2, 1.